Hi everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Leopardon from Japanese Spider-Man off of the Marvel 616 series. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Okay, besides the funny clicks and how hard that was for me, I wanted to talk about this. And the reason I called it the from the 616 series, because I have been watching the Marvel 616 series on Disney Plus, and I learned about Japanese Spider-Man and the robot that he has and that kind of stuff. Leopardon, basically, that's what I'm trying to say. So I know it's not from Marvel 616. I'm just saying I watched that episode and I was educated about Leopardon 616 Marvel show. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Japanese Spider-Man, you know what I'm trying to say. So that's why I'm saying that. But anyway, you know, it's just a reason to draw robots. It's really what it comes down to. Now, I talked about this in another one that, actually I think yesterday's I talked about this, that there's only so much you can do because of the boxy movement. So I'm taking a little bit of a artistic license to give him a little bit more life, so to speak, because these parts can't move like this. Is basically what I'm trying to say. Because it's such a boxy design. I mean, it's cool. That's how it is. They're not always they don't have bent knees and stuff like that, hips, all that kind of stuff. It's not there. But I'm kind of taking advantage of, well, we're the artists. We get to draw however we want, you know. So I'm taking advantage of that to create a little bit more freedom. So that's where I'm going with this, is that I've kind of given him a little bit more movement than is possible with this guy. And also, I don't have pictures. All I've got are pictures of toys, pictures of like blurry pictures of his shape, just to try to come up with the look. So the nice thing is, you don't know, you have no idea, kind of, because you kind of do, obviously, or either you're here because you see the dailies, or you're here because you like Leopardon, and so you want me to get it right, and so I'm going to try, but yeah, that's kind of the nice thing, is like, well, you know, do what I want, you know, this is how I draw, but I'm trying to get it right, and that's the tricky part, is I want to do it right. That's the thing. But again, yeah, like I said, it's because it's very this is supposed to be, you know, a transformer in so many words. It needs to kind of uphold it could be put together into a look, I've said it many times before, I'm not a speaker. I don't have words. I'm just trying to talk while I draw, and it's already hard as it is. So I apologize if I can't form the words. But, yeah. So what I was trying to say is that he needs to form into a vehicle. And so I'm trying to take that into account when I do these drawings, because, like I said, I'm giving him a little bit more freedom, but I'm also still trying to make it like the actual toy. Now again, I've kind of given him a little bit more movable parts than he actually has. So, that being said, I think we're just going to go with it like this and accept it. There we go. I think that's good. That's kind of a quick sketch on the legs, but I don't think I need anything more because it's going to kind of take care of itself as we go, because the detail will come out with the Sharpie pen, and I don't need to worry about the detail with the pencil, right? So let me erase some of these sketch lines and we'll get going. I'm just going to lightly erase the sketch, but I got to be careful because the sketch actually worked out in quite a few places. Because what I usually tell you is the first few lines you put down, you're just trying to figure out where you're going to do your confidence lines, and as you get more confident with your placement, you press harder. But sometimes you're confident with your sketch. So I always say get rid of your sketchiness and follow your confidence, but sometimes it works out. Sometimes you have a good day. And you know, like say when you drop your water and it lands perfectly in the like little flip challenge. I mean, you weren't even trying, it just did it. You know, sometimes it works out. And this one worked out. The sketch worked, so I don't want to erase too much. So I think I'm ready to go. I'm going to welcome all the skippers. Try to find a good picture of the face. And we'll go from there. Yeah. Okay, so let's welcome everybody that skipped and get going. Welcome skippers, welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but a pen's a little finer than the fine point. You can find things that the fine point can't quite find. I've sketched the entire thing out. I've erased the majority of these sketch lines, but left myself enough to guide me. I'm going to use this Sharpie pen to get started, and I'm going to draw some of the details of the face. Now, I talked about this in the sketch, that all I have to go by are some toys and some very bad pictures that are like super fuzzy, like you can barely tell what's going on there. So I'm going to try to capture what I can and make it work. So let's start with his little headdress, and that'll kind of point us out where we're going to be. Headdress, his little, I don't know what you would call it, his forehead insignia thing. And usually I start off with the Sharpie fine point like this because I can control the line width much better, and it'll help me for what I want to do. But as I go, though, I'm going to start to thicken up some of these lines because when I switch over to this Sharpie, you're going to see a huge difference in line width, and so I'm always trying to prepare for that. So in doing that, I just kind of sometimes thicken up these lines, and if you're working with pencil, you don't have to do this. I'm just explaining why I'm doing it, why all of a sudden I'm getting thicker here. And you know what, even if you're working with Sharpie, you don't have to do this. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. Okay, so that's got my placement and tells me where I'm going to go with this. So let's see. So his head, this is going to be a little tricky here because I'm just trying to make it work to look kind of like what's going on here. And this is what I talked about, is like all I've got are a few little pictures that kind of explain a little bit to me, but also kind of don't. But it's just so much fun. You know, that's the thing. That's what I like about it. It's like, it's such a cool character. So let's see what we can do here. Let's see. So the eyes are going to come down here. We darken those eyes up a little bit. And there you go. And let's work on some placement too. So let's see. This is going to come down like this. I'm trying to get some design on his face because he's got a very unique what do you call it, all this stuff. I want to call it placement, but it's not placement, it's face design, you know, mask design, so to speak. It's got very unique design, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I do have his head turned just a little bit, so I'm trying to make this stuff shorter than this, because you can see more, because if his head's turned, this is kind of going behind the head, and this stuff you can see more, so that's why I'm giving him just a little bit more on this side that's visible. Again, just to help me define the features of his face. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the shape of the head too, to kind of give me a look. Let's see, it's kind of going back here. Something like this. Some of this is kind of disappearing behind the other shapes, so there's only so much I'm doing. But all in all, it's basically the rough shape of him anyway. All right. Oh, and also, like I said, I'm going to start to thicken this up too. Again, you don't have to, just letting you know why I'm doing this. Alright. Okay, so let me draw his little weirdo face here. And so he's got kind of a nose. It looks like there's kind of a lot of detail into it, so I'm trying to get it close enough to looking the way it is there, so I can honor the original design, and plus it just looks cool, you know. It's got like this weird star mouth. It's crazy. Okay, and so God, I was probably spending so much time on the face here. I didn't mean to, but we kind of need to get the detail right. But in the end, it's going to look cool. You know, that's what really matters. I'm not even about looking cool, just about you know, looking awesome. That's no different, right? I try to change it up, it's no different. Okay, so I think that's good enough for the face. The rest will be some armor. So here's where it's going to get tricky. And this is what I was talking about in the sketch. I'm just making this up 100% because I'm going by what they have, but I'm also having to make it up because it's not, he can't move like this. That's what I'm trying to say. He can't move like this, so I'm kind of making up that, well then, I'm just going to say that we're giving him a little bit extra placement for his parts. Right? That's kind of what I'm trying to say. Because he's a giant robot, and I get that, you know, but again, I've got to give him more than just the regular parts. You know, he's got to have a little bit of extra. Because some of them is also like a little too, you can't move like that, you know, you can't do that. But we're giving him a little bit of room to breathe, so to speak. Okay, so I'm going to draw his hand kind of like this. And again, remember, I'm just making this up. So don't get too worried about whether this is perfect or whether this is going to be like this or whether that should be there. We're kind of allowing ourselves to have a little bit of extra freedom. Okay? And also, we're making this up 100%. You know, like I said, I've got robot pictures, but it's hard to tell exactly what's what. and what is going on with, you know, what goes where, why, and that kind of thing. Let's see, let's say we'll twist this like this, go down. And again, that's kind of the cool thing though, is we get to make up what we want it to look like. You know, we get to make like, well, this is a robot part, that's a robot part, this is going into something over here. This is going to be, we're going to twist this a little bit different. Come in here and do one of these. Don't know why, just because, you know, like I said, it's a robot hand. And that was the whole point of getting to do what we want to do. Alright. Since we're looking at like the side of his hand, he's pretty much doing that. So that's why it's just kind of up that way. Okay, one hand up. So, let me figure out what's going on with his chest here. And I can do kind of a design here. Okay, so, since I've got his arm raised up, we're going to say that the back of his shoulders. Now see how thick that is versus that? That's why I was trying to go a little thicker. Again, totally for me, so don't feel bad if you didn't do it. I'm just explaining to you again why I did it. Let's see. Now, again, like I was talking about, I'm going to keep saying it again, and I'm so sorry. I'm going to try to break up my speech pattern and make things a little more interesting. But again, I'm going by as best I can figure out for the overall look. Oh, actually do this, hang on. Because of the way they have it designed. And it's cool, that's what I like, you know, that's why we're doing this. But I have to try to break it up into what I can understand and what I can try to figure out. But in the end, in the long run, honestly, it's just about building a robot. That's really all it comes down to. And being able to draw a Transformer-ish type kind of bot, you know? Alright, so let's see what I can do here for the front. And when I go quiet, it's because I'm concentrating. So if you ever hear me go quiet, you know it's because I'm trying to get this right. But again, like I've talked about, it's not that big deal if we can't get it right. Because ultimately, you know, we're just here to have fun. Not obsess over which part's perfect, what's supposed to be where, or what's supposed to be what, you know? Now, I think all of this is too thin, so I'm going to thicken some of this up because it all looks the same to me. So I want to break apart like some of this design just to set it apart from the rest, you know. So it's not as thick as that line, but it's not as thin as some of these other highlight lines. Highlights. Highline. Okay, there's a web shape in there, but I think we'll do that with color. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Okay, so then I'm just going to, again, kind of separate this, and there's a little higher right there than there or there, you know, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that. There we go. Okay, so for this hand over here, we're just gonna do, again, like we did over here, just some kind of, you know, big blocky parts that are not supposed to move like this, but we're making them move like this, you know? And that's kind of the whole idea, is giving it a little bit more freedom. Just for, you know, dramatic meaning. And that's the other thing too, is this is such an old design. There's nothing in it besides blocks. You know, whereas to like the new Transformers and stuff, they've got all kinds of different things in here and whatnot. This one is just blocks. That's all it really is. Square, square, square. So that's why I'm trying to give it a little bit more of mech, you know, mechanic look. But again, it's just an excuse to draw a robot. That's really all it comes down to. So that's why I'm not too worried about it, and just playing along with you know, giving it some kind of special little extras. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do the same thing like his hand, just kind of a little chop hand, ready to fight. And again, you can only see so much because of the position. This one was more flat like this. This other one you can see a little bit more, so you see it kind of like that. Well, but reverse, you know what I'm trying to say. That, and then that, so you see a little bit more of the fingers. Yeah, I'm just breaking it up like that, so it's not the exact same thing on both sides, giving you a little bit more to play around with. Alright. Okay, so for his waist, again, I'm trying to find some toy pictures, something that's got a little bit of detail. He's got something like this. Then there is a, let's see, some kind of belt emblem. There's something else above it too. I'm going to draw that first, but I want to draw this first before I do that. And I think also I'm going to do it with a smaller Sharpie to kind of accent that it's a different size. So let's do that. So see, again, it's all super simple stuff. So I'm just trying to break it up with, like, well, let's add a piston here, or a robot part there. Again, I'm going to thicken it up just a little bit, so it's not as thick as the other one, not as thin as the rest. Something like that. And again, there's a spider emblem on that, but again, I'm going to do that with color. I'm not going to worry about it right now. You kind of smooth it out though. Alright. Okay, so now, this is where, again, we're going to have to make up that these parts don't bend like this, obviously. So I'm going to give him a little bit of a crotch underwear type thing. Now we're going to say this leg is in front of that. This leg is behind this. So for this leg, coming in like this, we're going to say this edge comes down like that. And you can see this like almost straight on. This is kind of turned that way a little bit. So I'm going to come down here, and again, see, they've got this as just a big rectangle. I'm trying to give it a little bit more of a thigh look to it, so I'm kind of giving it a more designer shape, artistic freedom, I guess is basically what it is. Okay, let's go ahead and draw it, and then we're going to add detail with the Sharpie in a second. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and draw the bottom part of the leg. Again, it's pretty much just a gigantic rectangle. Now there is, like that, a spider type design in the front. I say spider, sorry, spider web. But it's oblong because it's along his leg. And then I'm going to do the little like wings that are here, but I'm doing them a little dramatic, like sticking them way out there. Like they're not this big on his design. Same thing. Let's do the shoe. I'm gonna come down here. And he's got like it's designed a certain way, but again, I'm kind of creating it how I need it. Okay. Now we'll do this leg in a second. Let's just add some detail here, and then we'll come back. Okay. Again, I don't see a lot here on the front. I'm just going to kind of do something like this just to differentiate that there's parts. Double check. Again, it's hard to see. Doesn't look like it, but these pictures are so blurry, it's hard to tell what's going on here. So I'm just going to talk like this. So I think that'll work. Okay, so let me. You know what I can do? I'll add more with color. I'll just draw some edges here, and then I'll do some maybe some mech stuff in here, just to show that it's got some kind of design on it. Same thing with this. I'm not going to touch that. Let's just add just edges. Like that, just to show that it's off to the side. Same thing here with his feet. I kind of want to just do something like this, just to separate that it's, you know, some kind of mechanized foot. Like that. And again, I'm going to do all that with color to make it really stand out. So we do the same thing over here, just a slightly different angle. So this leg is going to be behind this, come in, come down to this leg, and I know I did this one a little different because I'm just showing that it's on the inside. So watch this. That is that line, so we'll just do this for the inside of that leg to kind of show that it's different. You know, it's got a whole difference on the inside that you can't see because of the angle. But this one you can see. You can see the angle. So let me thicken this up just a little bit. Again, like we did on those other lines, just to kind of make it stand out that it's a harder edge here. Okay, awesome. And we're gonna say you can see a little bit of that, so I'm gonna move this over here just a hair. But again, at the angle, you can't quite see it the same. Okay, so this one down, I'm gonna go out like this. Come up like that. We can say you can see a little bit of that one too, like that, because they're just cool, you know. So we want to add that extra. Again, the oblong. I keep calling it the oblong spider web. And then I'll draw that edge, some kind of shoe. We're gonna do something like this. Okay. And remember, I am making this up 100%. He's got a big blocky foot, but I'm just adding extra something just to make it you know, like I said, come alive, make it my own. Let me add these edges. Again, just to give it a little bit of a harder edge, that it's you know, a different surface. So there you go. I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Leopardon from Japanese Spider-Man that I saw in the Marvel 616 series on Disney+.
So here's how I colored it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, or show me what you did in our Discord group. Just have fun and make it your own, because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures with How I Draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.